Hello, everybody. Watch along time for a Saturday lunchtime. It is Preston versus Burnley in a Northwest derby. Use whatever term you're comfortable with and not going to get triggered by. Can't call anything a derby that's not a derby these days, can you? Especially not on the internet. Welcome, everybody. Really happy to have you lot here in the chat. Should we do a quick few hellos to start things off? Dominic, welcome. Hector. Alexander, Jeff, Led Zepp, Filthy Pirate Hooker. How about that? Liam with his derby, brilliant. That's a proper derby. The Graham Alexander derby. Always has run for me, Liam. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. We are going to jump right into this because we're only sort of 13 minutes away from kickoff. Let's just have a look what is going on in the championship today at large. We got three earlies. You got Cardiff, Bristol City, which Sam's working on. Oxford and Pompey, battle of a couple of League One sides from last year, both in good form, actually. Preston versus Burnley is our game here in the 3 p.m s. It is Blackburn versus Plymouth, Hull versus Norwich, Luton, Sheffield United. It's Borough, Watford, Millwall, West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry and Stoke versus Swansea. Got anything on Sunday? Not sure we do in the Championship. We know there's a gigantic game on Monday night. Sorry, let me just click through on FootMob. I wish my computer would move faster. Oh my God. It's crawling along at snail's pace. No. After all of that, no games on Sunday. And the big one for the weekend is first against fourth as things stand, Leeds versus Sunderland. But that should be an absolutely brilliant game. We'll be doing a watch along for that one as well. Shall we dive straight in and look at team news in this one? It's Preston versus Burnley. Normal questions to you. Who are your match winners? Who are you looking forward to seeing? Here are your lineups. Okay, let's get into this. Your home team, Freddie Woodman in goal. The back three is Andrew Hughes, Lewis Gibson, and Ryan Porteous. That's a pretty interesting one because he's played plenty for Watford this season, but allowed to move in the January transfer window. Feels like a proper Paul Heckingbottom signing that one. Heckingbottom doing a good job. Actually, Kane Kessler-Hayden is the right wing back. Jaden Magoma, 18 years old, down the left. Ledson and Brad Potts are the central midfield. He made my thumbnail, the very thumbnailable Stefan Tordarson, Mads Frokjer Jensen, and Mulatin Osmajic up top. I think it was this game earlier in the season that Osmajic had his incident, didn't he, that he got banned for. Let me know, as ever, who you are excited to see in that Preston lineup. I'll do the Preston bench right now. Cornell, Lindsay, Bauer, Brady, Pasiek, Evans, Jakobsen, Greenwood, and Keane. For Burnley, the immovable object that is Burnley, who have had 10 straight clean sheets in the EFL. Can you imagine? James Trafford in goal, who is rightly taking a lot of credit. I know it's a team game, but for that ridiculous Burnley defensive record. Bashir Humphreys and Connor Roberts are the fullbacks. Humphreys obviously on the goal scoring sheet himself in midweek against Hull. Centre backs there are Maxime Esteve and CJ Egan-Riley. Very, very good indeed. I mean, what more can you say other than they never concede any goals? In front of them, Josh Cullen and Josh Laurent. And it's so consistent, isn't it? That back 7 is pretty much there the whole time, isn't it? I know we've had who's the Brazilian lad who's sometimes left back? I forget his name. He'll be on the bench, and that remind me. But yeah, very, very consistent. Across the front here, Foster left, Anthony right. Hannibal is in at number 10. We love Hannibal for some S-housery. Get him in if it's a local derby. Up front, Zian Fleming, who's in very, very nice form. Someone will probably give me the stats in the comments of how many goals Fleming has recently scored. But he has proved to be a very good signing. One of those weird ones, loan with compulsion, obligation to buy from Millwall. On the bench for Burnley, Kladky, Worrell, Perez. There we go. That's the Brazilian lad. Barnes, Shelvey, Brownhill, Sarmiento, Benson, and Edwards as well. Looking forward to possibly seeing Marcus Edwards at some point. Another January window signing. Let's look at some comments. Are you lot talking sense to me in the chat? Let's have a look here. Come on, Burnley, says Dario. From Italy, indeed. Alfie, afternoon to you. Alex, so Derby last night. Yeah, wasn't great, wasn't it? Daryl, afternoon to you. Hello, everyone. Osmite, yes, you're right. It was against Blackburn, wasn't it? You are totally right, Annie. Good catch. Tommy Turpentine, good day to you, my friend. Ashley, just arrived at Villa Park. Yeah, great away day, Villa Park, isn't it? Tremendous. That Burnley bench is unreal. Don't, because we'll start talking about parachute teams, and then fans of parachute teams will start denying that having way more money than everybody and getting a bonus to pay the wages of the players you had in the Premier League last season so you don't have to sell them isn't an advantage. But we can't stop that, can we? But yes, Luke, Burnley snooze fest incoming. Come on, Luke, let's be positive here. I don't choose the games. Sky do. By the way, it's Burnley next Friday as well, I think. Luke, is it Sheffield Wednesday and Burnley? I can't quite remember. Look, it's going to be a goal fest. Actually, with that being said, shall we get into predictions? Get them in the chat right now. You don't have to be clever. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be funny. All you have to do is put Preston something, Burnley. And please, as well, if you're a Leeds or a Sheffield United fan in the title race as well, say what you think is going to happen, not what you hope is going to happen. We all know what you hope is going to happen, but that doesn't actually help me when the predictions are coming in. I want to get a read on what people think is going to happen. So get your honest predictions in. Head over this thing down here. Predictions go. By the way, if you're across EFL games, there are plenty of earlies today. We've got Leicester Arsenal in the Premier League. If you're watching that one, let us know what's going down there. Cambridge Exeter, Northampton Wrexham are earlies in League One. We've also got Wimbledon, Salford and Doncaster Grimsby in League Two. So whoever you are watching, let us know what is transpiring in your game. Shall we go to predictions? What did I go for? Did I go for 1-0 Burnley? If someone checks the predictions with Sam, I probably went for the clean sheet win, didn't I? Right, let's get some predictions in. There you go, Hector. 1-0 Burnley, nil effing nil. Someone's got to get it in there. It helps us out, doesn't it? Desmond, nil effing nil. 2-0 Burnley, nil effing nil. There's been 3 of them now. Preston 2-1. Nil effing nil. 1-1. I'm going to get a little bit higher and a little bit louder with every single one. 0-1 Burnley, 1-1, 1-1. Nil effing nil. Preston 3, Burnley. There you go. That is my favourite one so far. I would like that to happen for my entertainment. 2-0 Burnley. Alex just want Preston to win. 2-1 Preston, 2-1 Burnley. We're fairly mixed. What is it? Mode, median, and mean. which is the one that's the most common? Is it mode? The mode was definitely nil effing nil, wasn't it? We don't want a nil effing nil. But guys, I'm here. You're here. We'll still have a lovely chat in the comments. We'll have some fun. Someone can keep us updated from Cardiff, Bristol City and Oxford Pompey instead, if it is indeed another nil effing nil. How many nil effing nils have Burnley had this season? There have been plenty. Players coming out in up in Deepdale there. Just arriving out of the tunnel for this local derby in the Northwest. It is Preston versus Burnley. Can you do me a favour, guys? Can we get ourselves a like spike? If you are watching the show right now on YouTube or on Twitter, X, hit the thumbs up button. If everyone does it at the same time, it helps with all the metrics and whatnot. You've got 11 seconds. Like spike time. Away you go. Can we get to 50 before kickoff? As I down my coffee and wipe my mouth, it'll keep me amped up for this exciting 3-3 draw that we're about to get, right? Thank you so much, guys. Let me have my one moment of being gooey and being a bit emotional with you lot. It is fantastic that you guys support this channel. It's amazing. As I always say, I am just a fan with a big mouth. I have no more credibility than you guys to be talking about football. So we're all sharing this. I've got the platform here. We're in it together. And I so appreciate your support. It's madness. We're coming up to like 43,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is brilliant. Just a big, big thank you for all of your support. And you can support the stream merely by interacting. Hit the like button, comment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you might be number 43,000 if you're lucky. And if you do it now, you can join up and support financially. There is, excuse me, no obligation whatsoever to support financially. That is entirely up to you guys. If you can, that's brilliant. This will always be free, this channel. You can support financially, though, by super chat and by signing up as a member. We'd recommend you do that on YouTube rather than on Patreon. We're kind of phasing out the Patreon side of it. It's just easier to keep it all under the YouTube umbrella. And that means one of the excellent perks I can give you, like with the Championship Check-In podcast, members got that nearly 24 hours before non-members. So if you sign up on YouTube, you can get those lovely perks as well. And we really, really appreciate the hell out of everybody who has done that. Right. Enough pluggery from me. Enough emotional thank yous from me. We are about to get going in what is sure to be an absolute rip snorter of a game. It's going to be a classic. It's not going to be nil effing nil, I promise you. Burnley have kept 23 clean. 23? That's mental. Oh, my God. Burnley, just ridiculous defensive numbers this season. But there we go. There is the great Stuart McCall, who, by the way, I loved as a player. Anyone's got some good Stuart McCall stories, if you're an Everton fan or a Rangers fan or a Sheffield United fan. He was a hell of a player, Stuart McCall, wasn't he? The Preston assistant who is on my screen. Right now, I'm going to angle this way. Am I in the shot? I'm in the shot in the middle. I've moved the microphone to the middle. Hopefully, you can all hear me okay. And we are all good to go for Preston versus Burnley. Let's get ready on the clock. We are about to kick off. I am watching on Sky Sports Football. Remember, as always, if you are watching on Now TV or by any streaming mechanism, however you've got that, you might need to pause me, but we've got the clock so you can get yourself lined up. And we are off and running. It is Preston versus Burnley. And there's about 8 players down after 20. I'm exaggerating. There's 3 players down after 20 seconds of this game. So it's going to be very start and then immediately stop again. Is that, who is that down the left? Is that Kane Kessler-Hayden? Sorry, down the right-hand side. Oh, it's his own player. Porteous came through the back and headed him on the back of the head. So immediate stoppage, no foul there. Kessler Hayden getting bumped by his own player there. There's Paul Heckingbottom up with the data guys who get the best seat in the house, really, don't they? They're always sat up on halfway with their cameras and their iPads and their Ethernets, looking very dangerously plugged in across the top of the stand there, I have to say. But Heck is serving a 2-match suspension. Hence, all the attention on good old Stuart McCall down there. Let's just go to some comments really quickly. One of the best EFL channels for sure. Thank you, Luke. Very kind. You can see the great Matt SB actually on the Premier League Check-In podcast on this very channel. What else have we got here? Daniel, come on, Preston, do us a favour. If you're Leeds or Sheffield United or Sunderland in the chat, you are Preston today. We get it. It's that time of year, isn't it? Afternoon. Danny in the chat. What else have we got? The icon that is Stuart McCall will be remembered for falling off on top of. Yes, we have seen that. We have seen that footage, and we've chatted about that. Oh, dribble along his own kind of penalty box there by Kessler Hayden. Not the smartest thing to do, I don't think, but he got away with it, didn't he? And he watching as a coping mechanism in case we go 1-0 down. We are here for you, Anir. Let us know if you're watching Anir's lot, Cardiff and Bristol City. I need to talk about this game because I haven't been doing that. Trafford, that's not Trafford at all. I'm all over the place. Woodman knocks it into the centre half, just clipped into the channel. And what do I always call it, guys? The feeling out process, yes, is going on. Here's Frockier. Tries to give and go into the box. Are we at the point now where if you get a penalty box entrance against Burnley, that's some kind of success, isn't it? Means they're impossible to score against. Trafford with the first goal kick. Good away end that at Preston, isn't it? You get some limbs in there. Not as good as the Barnsley one, which goes up even further. Goal kick goes long. No one's taking any chances in this. Simple passes. Defenders are just knocking it forward into the front men. Although we do have the ball in midfield at the moment. How about that? And then a foul by Brad Potts on Connor Roberts. And those of you that predicted 0-0 will be happy with this start because nothing's happened. Roberts into the channel for Anthony. When we did Burnley against Plymouth, they played that ball loads. I'm sure Preston will be wise to it. Plymouth weren't. There was a massive gap there for Anthony with the 3 centre-back system. But I'm sure Magoma has been told, just get in front there, plug that gap. We know a Burnley win today will take them above Sheffield United. Temporarily, maybe. But the goal difference works for Burnley. In fact, they're 7 ahead of Sheffield United on the goal difference. So a win would take them above. Although Sheffield United will be hot favourites to go to Luton and win later, giving Luton, incredibly, as a Year 1 parachute team, are bottom of the Championship after 31 rounds. Incredible. There's another one in the left channel this time for Foster to chase. It's kept in by Burnley, who are just starting to build a little bit of possession. Koleosho is not playing. Hannibal has his pass kicked against the referee. Before anybody asks me who that is today, how do I find out? Referee Kitchen today. There's a rat in the kitchen What am I going to do? Trafford goes long down the middle of the pitch. Terrible game so far. But it's a derby, isn't it? It's cold. It's winter. We're feeling each other out. Anthony wins that easily. Anthony steps towards the edge of the box, into the box. Right-footed strike by Anthony, just wide of the post. The first attacking moment of this game could have been a gnarly one for Magoma, who got robbed by Anthony. It opened up. Oh, Anthony should have played that to Lyle Foster, shouldn't he? He turned back to go onto his right foot. Foster was in. If Anthony just slides that across the box, he's 1v1. Probably going to have to hit it first time for it to be 1v1, but he is 1v1 and inside the box. Magoma back to Tordarson, who Footmob had playing a bit further forward than he actually is. He's very much going to be in midfield, not further forward. Julian. All Blades, Mackhams and Leeds fans will be urging on Preston big time. Burnley need to concede for our morale. Their resilience is depressing. Depressing and impressive at the same time, yeah. We have this, don't we, at the end of the season, where if you're in, I know we're not quite at the end of the season, but we're entered the final third, haven't we? You're hoping for other teams to slip up, but you're hoping just for Burnley to concede a damn goal, let alone lose a game. It seems they just always win, but that is part of being a football fan. Sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees because of their emotions. Burnley will concede a goal at some point. Tommy, first time watching a watch along. Use it for commentary while I play Foot Champs. Very good indeed. Eight gone. Best chance, only chance, falling to Burnley thus far. Jaden Anthony put it wide of the post. He should have played that in to Lyle Foster, shouldn't he? Right, Dario, I'll say this in a very friendly manner. If you're new around here, we don't really do stupid comments like that, mate. So I will block you unless you want to apologise. But let's not be commenting on anyone's appearance. We're here for the football. I don't give two Fs what you do with your hair. And I don't give two Fs what you think about my hair. So you can apologise and we can move on with our lives, or I'm just going to block you, okay? But let's concentrate on the football and not have dumb troll comments, please. Cullen, Estev. Here's Hannibal. Humphreys. Roberts. Burnley building up a bit of possession without any territory. Just playing the ball across the back. Egan Riley, they played the channel again, looking for Anthony. Oh, quick throw-in is a good one. Into the box goes Laurent. Oh, we tried to play it back to Cullen. Could we get a Preston breakaway? Yes, we could. Osmajic coming through. That's a great tackle by CJ Egan Riley. That's why they've kept so many clean sheets there. Really good counter-attack. Frockier. This is a lovely ball, actually. Right bits. Great ball, that. And, yeah, you just got to give Burnley credit there because Preston do nothing wrong with that counter. Two quick passes. Osmajic in between the two. Egan Riley makes a great tackle. And that'll be the plan, won't it? Counter-attack when you can. But they're so good defensively. Burnley, aren't they? If Plymouth win and Hull lose today, Plymouth out of the bottom three. All ifs and buts. Well, who would have seen that coming a few weeks ago? Not me. Oh, free kick goes in, headed across the box. Oh, my goodness me. The offside flag's up. Tantalising one there. It was Andrew Hughes got up on the back stick. Yeah, he's clearly offside, so the officials have got that right. But some sense that Preston are going to be able to work this Burnley back four. Leicester have started quite good here, says Alistair. We got Leicester Arsenal in the Premier League. It's Oxford Pompey and Cardiff Bristol City in the earlies today in the Championship, as well as that Premier League game. We've got, I think, was it 2 in League One and 2 in League Two as well? 1 in League Two as well. Plenty going on early. No goals yet. Here comes Magoma down the left. Osmajic. Anthony, nicely worked by Burnley. Slid down the line. Egan Riley, who made that lovely blocking tackle from Osmajic. I suppose 1 against 1. The decent chances in this game. Anthony for Burnley should have played in Foster. Osmajic for Preston did nothing wrong. Just a great bit of defending by Egan Riley. Where would I rank Pompey's front four in the Championship, Loka? It's good. I think it's very good for a promoted team from League One. Obviously, compared to some of the parachute teams and, you know, the likes of Norwich and Middlesbrough, who've got good squads, you would say theirs is much better. But is it good enough to get them away from the bottom? I think it might be. We'd just swap it with anyone else's down there. Struggers, love the content, Ben. You're a brilliant. Oh, thank you. Very, very kind indeed. Thank you, Struggers. Means a lot. Especially with people having a go at my hair. Keep up the great work. Especially love the videos with you and Matt SB. Anyone who gets triggered by my hair, by the way, look at these greys. Once it's gone a bit more grey, you might get your wish, and I'll cut it short. Why on earth you would care, I don't know. Why on earth you would comment on it, I have got no idea. But there you go. Each to their own. Wear your hair however you please, you lot. If you're a good person, nobody cares what your hair looks like, hey? Hughes knocks that forward. By the way, sorry, it was Gibson with the header across goal, not Hughes. I said, made a mistake a few minutes ago. Yeah, Mark. Embrace the grey. Mark, look at the beard. If I'm not embracing the grey there, I don't know what I'm doing. Start to worry when it starts thinning on top. Yeah. Fair comment. Mike, I think your hair looks better. There you go, Mike. Thank you very much, everybody. You're making me feel better now. Oh, dear. The insecurities of being on camera. How about that? Play down the left. We've got a throw in for Burnley, which I'm sure Connor Roberts is going to hurl down the line. Come on, Burnley. Come on, Burnley. Should have scored from that free kick. Looking back, it was offside though, Dale. So you can make the argument he wouldn't have been in the position to score. But yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if the ball had ended up in the net. Would have been disallowed. Down the right-hand side come Burnley. Foster has switched wings. It's gone across the box. Good defending there. Tordarson. Oh, as soon as I say that, slips over. Anyone else finding Tordarson and Potts hard to tell apart? They're both the same build. They've both got the same haircut. They're both playing in central midfield for Preston. Tricky. That's won by Frockier, who's used the ball well early in this game, especially that lovely through ball for Osmajic for Preston's best chance of this game. Frockier trying a similar ball there. Osmajic not happy with that one. Here comes Roberts on the breakaway. Laurent. Magoma hammers it against it, thinking he's going to win. A throw in. But it runs down the line for CJ Egan-Riley. Probably the best play of this entire game was that tackle by Egan-Riley. Julia, so proud of the Clarets this season. Well, they're going to set all kinds of records the way things go. Kelsey, is that Jake? What's your score prediction for this game? Get him in. Get him in there in the chat. Medical emergency at Oxford Pompey. So, first of all, we hope that's nothing too serious. Secondly, that means that the outcome of that game will be delayed in the 12:30 early kickoffs in the Championship. Obviously, that's not important. We hope the person is okay. Gibson. Porteous. Both teams staying in shape. Both teams allowing the other side centre-halves to have the ball. And really, the only balls that have been on, there's not been much into midfield. Preston trying to work midfield there. But the only balls that have been on have been the channels, haven't they? Or we saw Burnley get a couple of good moments from nicking it on the press, didn't we? Gaza, Bournemouth to win the FA Cup. Don't mind that. Ian, channel legend there. Ian, welcome along. A friendly Norwich fan. They do exist, I promise. Great lad, Ian. Chappie, I hope Hecking can pull something out of the bag. Can't see it. 1-0 Burnley. Well, I mean, Preston are in good form. Burnley are in excellent form. I was looking on who scored. If you click in the who scored tables, you can click on streaks. Burnley 19 undefeated. I think Leeds 14 undefeated. They're hard to beat, these sides up at the top. Magoma into the box. You got to do better than that to score against Burnley, but it has broken back for Torderson. Right, help me out with this, guys. Torderson is 22, Potts is 44, okay? Davey's winding me up here. Ban parachute payments, thoughts. Don't start me, Davey, on parachute payments. I'll go off. You can't just ban parachute payments, but we do need the system changing. It just needs to be a more even distribution. But that's never going to happen whilst we have Premier League versus EFL, is it? Remove the chasms and even out the distribution, which would stop the massive chasm between Premier League and parachutes and Championship, Champions League and Premier League, chasms all the way down. The problem is, as we always find, is that the fans of Champions League teams go, what about us? And don't think about the Premier League teams. The fans of Premier League teams go, what about us? Don't think about the parachute teams. The fans of the parachute teams go, what about us? And don't think about the Championship teams. The fans of the Championship teams go, what about us? And don't think about the League One teams. Everyone just cares about their own club. And we need to worry about the whole 92. But I get it. We all want our club to do well. But sometimes you have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. We've all signed players from clubs lower down. We've all been in League One, probably. Got to look at the bigger picture. Protect the pyramid. That's all I'll say. Corner, Preston. In it goes, right-footed. Oh, Trafford could punch that. He was crowded out on the near post. He just got enough on that to alter the direction. Kilgallen, thought we were on repeat there. It probably is on repeat with me talking about parachute payments because I've been doing it for the last, nearly 10 years. But there you go. Porteous is fed down the line. Oh, I was just going to say, you ain't going to get a foul for that. But the linesman's flag there for Hannibal on Ledson didn't look like a foul to me. I stand to be corrected. No, it's not foul, is it? Well played, Ledson. He's bought that one. Hannibal steps in. There's a bit of contact, but not all contact is a foul. And I didn't think that was a foul, but Preston got the free kick none the less. Benny, give us a wave. Benny, give us a wave. Who's the best Benny? It's got to be Benny from ABBA, hasn't it? What a keyboard player. Free kick, Preston. Good position, this. Be controversial if they score, unless you did think it was a foul. I didn't think it was a foul. In goes the delivery, looking for Portis on the near post. Headed out. Burnley clear their lines. Here's Hannibal on the break. Down the left. 3 against 1 there. And Preston have won the free kick. Won the throw-in as well. Fair play. Benny Hill. Yeah, it's a fair shout. Benny McCarthy is a great shout. I'm sorry, Benny from ABBA beats both of those, doesn't he? Although Benny Hill has now got 2 votes. Loving the new style on YouTube Shorts. Jake, if you're listening, he'll be proud of that. Jake has stepped up and he's doing those. Who do you think will get relegated from the Prem? Hopefully not the 3 promoted teams, but it looks like it might be. Benny from Crossroads. Ben Dover. Benny Gesseray. Hopefully that's not a I don't know, murderer or a porn star or something terrible like that. Don't know who that is. Benny Anderson. Yeah, Benny Anderson's my pick. Benny Franklin, does that count? He's got to be Benjamin Franklin, hasn't he? Ben, parachute payments are going to help you next season. Yes, they may well do. But let's be fair about this. I will be the flag bearer. It has nothing to do with who I support. Parachute payments are still a massive advantage to the teams who have them, a massive hindrance for the teams who are going against the teams who have parachute payments. Whether the team you have them, you support, has them or not, grow up, those people who can't get past, oh, well, my team's got them, so I'm going to conveniently forget about all the logic of one team in the Charity Championship having 5 times the amount of TV money than the next team. Sort the chasms out, football system. There we go. Dave has been rocking and rolling with Elvis last night. Happy days. Big Ben, Benny Bloom. No questions. The best Benny. Well, I'm not a Benny, really. I'm a Ben or a Benjamin. Here's a Lyle Foster on the left. That was very Partridge, wasn't it? I don't see that as a bad thing. Hannibal. Estev. Humphreys down the left. Nothing doing. All the nil effing nillers. Are going to be saying, I told you so. Have I read The People's Shame? No, I haven't. And he messaged me about coming on the channel and we didn't manage to make it happen. So, no, I probably should, Mickey. But then, right, this is a really important point that Fabian makes. And I need you all, well, providing you believe in this, don't be fooled by the league table, okay? Do not be fooled. It doesn't matter where anyone is in the league table. It is possible in life, in business, in football to have a massive advantage and not use it. Don't be distracted by Luton not leveraging their advantage, yeah? Doesn't matter a who. It's still stupid that they have 5 times more TV money than Plymouth, who are next to them in the league table. Please bang that drum for me, guys. Whenever you hear anybody say, but Luton, please bang that drum for me and say that doesn't matter. You can have an advantage in life and not use it. Yeah? Don't want to get into a conversation about privilege, but it is possible that somebody who went to private school and had all the money in the world and extra tuition might get worse exam results than somebody who comes from a council estate, okay? So please bang that drum for me, hey? Bang that drum. And there you go, Gazza, because Luton are spending the parachute payments on a stadium. Exactly correct. There you go. Exactly. And people mention the Sunderland example, don't they? Sunderland's owner took the parachute payments out and they got relegated. It doesn't matter a hoot. Please, please bang that drum for me, guys. Because people, I'm not accusing Fabian or whoever of arguing that. But it's really important that people understand that you can have an advantage and mess it up. That doesn't mean that the advantage is a fair and reasonable one. Potts into the box. Potts gets it back. Oh, it's going to break to the right-hand side. Big chance. Oh, great save by Trafford. Kessler Hayden getting in on the right-hand side. Trafford and Burnley at the back are so good, aren't they? He sprints off his line and makes the block. It was Potts, Torderson. I'm getting them mixed up again. It's a great chance. Is it actually a block behind him? I can't tell. It might have even been Foster. I know people moan about Burnley being boring, but they are so good at the back. It's not even funny, isn't it? Goodness me. In comes the corner, headed over the bar. There you go. Lots of people on the parachute payments point and Luton are making this point, setting themselves up from short-term damage by investing in the stadium. And this is the stupid thing about the system, right? Is if you spend money on a football stadium like Luton are doing or Spurs did or Arsenal did, that money actually doesn't apply for FFP. So that's fine. That's infrastructure payments. Whereas parachute payments kind of should be in the same bracket, shouldn't they? As in, there should be some kind of levy on that particular pool of funding, if indeed we are keeping them. It just all seems very backwards. But I think I've said too much, haven't I? Oh, backheeled by Potts down the left-hand side. Preston are actually on top at the moment. And that was a great chance there for Kessler Hayden arriving. I still can't tell who made the block there, whether it was Trafford or Lyle Foster getting back and defending there. We're having a great debate about... look, I think you guys all agree with me. I don't think you'll find a football fan who doesn't agree with the fact that we should have as even playing field as we can. We all understand that Manchester United and Arsenal and Liverpool should be able to leverage their amazing history and their amazing fan bases, and they deserve the fact that they've built over decades to have more fans and therefore bring in more commercial money. We get that, okay? But I think we can do better with the TV money that's being distributed right now. Yeah? You can argue that Man United built the Premier League and my team, Ipswich, this season get 100 million quid TV money, can't you? You can make that argument. You can argue that Ipswich helped build the league in the in the late 70s and early 80s, but let's just make it fairer. Foster made the block, did he? I mean, that says everything about Burnley's brilliant defence, doesn't it? He's the left winger, yeah? Amazing. I'll stop ranting about football distributions. Surely you all agree. Oh, nice feed in there by Laurent into Fleming, who we've barely mentioned, haven't we? We've mentioned Osmajic more than we have Fleming in terms of the number 9s. Scott Parker is a decent manager, especially at Championship level. I reckon he'll do better in the Premier League because, unlike Company, Parker will adapt and make changes until we start winning. Yeah, Fabian. I think people will wake up if he gets a 3rd Championship promotion. I think Parker suffers from England player golden generation derangement, famous person syndrome in the same way Lampard and Gerrard do, where people judge them in a very strange way. Not everybody, but I do get some weird comments about Rooney and John Terry and Parker and Gerrard and Lampard. Trafford. Trafford knocks the goal kick long to Fleming, who knocks it off well to Anthony. I don't know what Lyle Foster's done to Jayden Anthony. He's just not passing it to him today. Again, Anthony looks for Fleming down the middle that time. And Foster looked like the pass, didn't he? That's knocked forward to Osmajic, who's miles offside. Aid, if leveraged correctly, how many points would you say parachute payments is worth to Team X for a season? I don't want to get into actual points numbers, but to go very generally, Aid, in theory, given 3 teams get the league, the year 1 payment, and the year 1 payment is probably 15 million quid more than the year 2 payment. If you believe that the team that has the most money, the more money you have, the higher up you should finish, then in theory, if every team performs to their budget, the 3 teams that get the year 1 payment every year should be the top 3, shouldn't they? I get that it's not that simple, and sometimes, like Luton at the moment, the team that has the most TV money doesn't perform to their budget. But as people are arguing, they're not spending it on wages or transfer fees, are they? So maybe it's not a fair comparison, is it? So it's just a big advantage, isn't it? And again, please bang this drum for me. Hasn't helped Luton. Yes, it has. They're going to spend all the money on a new stadium, aren't they? So don't get distracted with the league table. Please don't. It's just unarguable that in a commercial setting, having more money is not an advantage. I just don't get how you can make the argument that some people, when they have more money, are worse because they spend it badly, but that doesn't mean it's not an advantage. It means they spent it badly and they didn't leverage the advantage. Anthony bullets the crossing from the right-hand side. I'm going to say headed away, but it wasn't. I think it was actually a Burnley player arriving on the back stick there that got his head on it, couldn't direct it goalwards. Porteous was touched tight. I think it was Fleming, wasn't it, on the back stick. Liam, it's easy to look at parachute payments for the success or failure of a club. The way they are run also have to come in. Totally agree, Liam. That's why I was so annoyed by that Sheffield United journalist who made a brilliant argument about parachute payments and then said parachute payments had nothing to do with Sheffield United's success. Oh, here comes Fleming down the right-hand side into the box. Fleming hits the shot over the bar. He made all the right points, that Sheffield United journalist, and then made himself look really silly by saying has nothing to do with, because that's nonsense. Of course, it has something to do with it. Yes, Liam is right. And the Sheffield United journalist or Sheffield journalist was right. There, the way they're run and management totally come into play. But you cannot be binary about it. You cannot say parachute payments and money are the only reason Team X is doing well. That would be stupid. And you also, like that Sheffield, someone will tell me his name in the chat, that Sheffield journalist whose rant went viral, you cannot say that parachute payments on money has nothing to do with anyone's success. That's also stupid and objectively just false, because as Liam has just pointed out, that then completely negates a brilliant managerial job or players doing well or tactical setup or what's going on in the rest of the league. Anyway, I'm ranting. Yes, there was also injuries. That thing called luck as well. I think Leeds United had parachute payments last year and were unlucky. So was Southampton, although they still got promoted. But Leeds were unlucky that Ipswich had a complete unicorn season. Wrong place, wrong time. Into the box goes Foster. Blocked out. Corner for Burnley. A up, Ben. Who's been the best team so far? Pretty even, Daniel. I'd say Burnley are on top now. Preston were on top just before then. All jolly even. It's going to be a corner from Burnley from the left wing. Although we're getting the crane camera from behind the goal, so I can't see who's going to take it. Jaden Anthony. In it comes, headed clear on the near post. Hannibal gets in there and wins it back. Good play by Hannibal. Knocks it back to Anthony. Anthony going on his left foot. He's done really well there, Anthony, to win another corner, because you all expect him to go on his right foot. I'll put that to the chat, Aid. In my opinion, which factors have affected football in the last 30 years to its detriment? You know, the difficult answer to that is all the things that have made football good are also the things that have made it bad, i.e. the Premier League and the money, but they've also made it good at the same time. Corner goes short to the corner of the box. Swung in. Ooh, punched out by Woodman. And my God, own goal siren going off there. It was parried out by Woodman. And who jumped out of the way of that? Because it could have just bounced off him straight into the goal. Wow. Who's that who jumped over? Is it Ledson? Did brilliantly to jump over the ball there. Because if it hits him, it goes into his own net. Burnley keep the pressure on here. Roberts on the right wing. Crosses. Right-footed. Headed up in the air. Woodman should catch that. Although it's gone up and over the bar. Another corner. This is good from Burnley. Oh, Liam, I can't remember what that journalist is. He's normally really good as well. I just think he got a bit passionate and said the wrong word, as in nothing to do with. Should have said not the main reason. BBC, it was on BBC Football Heaven or whatever. I can't remember his name. He is good. He just said the wrong thing, which enraged me at the end of that. Because he went binary with his argument, which is a silly thing that people do when they're talking about football, and then removes all the nuance. Corner for Burnley. Lots of people put in, that's him. Was it Rob? I think it was. I think that sounds about right. Yeah. Lots of people put in VAR here. TV rights, I'll definitely put in there. Or distribution of TV rights. I wouldn't actually have VAR in there, but I know a lot of you would have. He did say the last 30 years, the questioner. Oxford match to resume at 1:15. By the way, I'm not going after this journalist. I'm just saying I disagreed with his wording to say he was defending Sheffield United and he said parachute payments have nothing to do with their success, which we all know is bollocks. He just used the wrong word. He should have said are not the main reason for their success. Because we can all agree Chris Wilder's doing a good job. Tactically, they've been good. Players have been excellent, all of that stuff. But you can't say money has nothing to do with a football team's success. Again, I'm not having a go at the guy, Alex. I'm just saying he shouldn't have said nothing to do with. That was poor. There you go. John's exactly right. Parachute payments make a big difference, but can be spent badly. Of course. Exactly. You can give 5 people 10 grand and ask them to set up a lawn mowing business, and one of them could completely go bust and one of them could make £1 million. They all had the same advantage than someone starting from nothing, didn't they? Just depends how you utilize your advantage. And by the way, the person with nothing can also make £1 million. But the person with 10 grand has an advantage, a 10 grand advantage. Back home, it goes to James Trafford. We're coming up half-time. We're having a great debate about money in football as this game heads for a 0-0. I'm enjoying it. I hope you lot are. Here's Hannibal down the left. Couple of decent chances for both sides, I would say. Kessler Hayden and Osmajic for Preston. Anthony and that moment where Woodman just parried the ball out there. David, refs need to stop all this shirt pulling in the box. Well, I totally agree with that. Can the players stop as well, please, David? I know it's the ref's responsibility to stop them. The players could help them out by stop doing it, but I agree, it does come down to the referee to stop it. If it's literally in the rules that that's a foul. Hannibal the tackle cannibal. Constant tinkering with the offside rule. Yeah, they're trying, aren't they? Parachute payments is potential in your pocket. Some spend wisely, some chase ghosts. Yeah, agree with that. Yeah. I'll tell you something an intelligent Southampton fan said to me last year, which just amazed me, which does prove how, I'll say that at half-time, actually. Is the Oxford game off, Lauren? Can someone give us a update on the Oxford game? There's been a medical issue. Throwing goes in. We come up to half-time. By the way, no goals, 0-0 in all of the championship earlies here. That's going to be offside, isn't it? Potts chasing after that. It doesn't make a challenge for the ball. So nothing doing. Osmajic. Does make a challenge for the ball. Oh, Kieran, you're setting me up there. What are my thoughts on Greaves and Delap? Can I answer that half-time, Greaves? But I bet you can guess my thoughts on Liam Delap. That one's easy, isn't it? Greaves has been good as well. Fleming knocks that one back. Hannibal into the box. Oh, brilliant back heel by Hannibal. Fleming knocks it on. Oh, great chance over the bar. Wow. Hannibal, outstanding there. Look at this. Powers into the box. A bad miss from Foster. Should be 1-0 right at the end of first half stoppage time. Look at that. What a bit of skill by Hannibal to backheel that. Fleming plays exactly the right pass, doesn't he? No, he doesn't. He should have put it just slightly ahead of Foster, but Foster should still score that. That's poor from Foster. It should be 1-0. Burnley right at the end of the first half. It is indeed half-time here. Preston 0, Burnley 0. Let me quickly round up a quiet first half. Let me know if I miss anything out in dispatches here at half-time. Preston, Osmajic, great counter-attack, great tackle by Egan Riley. Kane Kessler-Hayden, great chance, great block by Foster. That says everything you need to know about Burnley. They are brilliant at defending. Burnley, 3 good moments. Anthony in the box, should have passed it to Foster. I can see maybe at the end of the half why he didn't. He hits it just wide of the post. Let me stop that ticking clock, by the way, guys. What other Burnley moments were there? Cross into the back stick. Woodman parries out. My God. And who jumped over it? Ledson. If he doesn't jump over that, that is own goal all day long. But then right at the end of the half, guys, I'm sorry. Best chance of the half. Hannibal, outstanding into the box. Back heel, brilliant. Fleming could have played it slightly ahead, but it's still not a bad pass by Fleming. But then Foster has to score, smashes it over the crossbar. Very quiet, guys. 0-0 also in Cardiff, Bristol City and Oxford Pompey. But you guys are updating me in the chat. Oxford Pompey has been delayed. I don't know how many minutes they even played. I think it was delayed after like a quarter of an hour or something, wasn't it? A medical issue in the crowd. And as we know, the game stops for that. And it is, so I don't know. Can someone tell me in the chat how many minutes we throw? It's not important if someone's literally in a life or death medical situation, but I'm just asking for the, you know, in case anyone accuses me of worrying about that. Obviously, I understand that, but I don't know. Oh, okay. They've started again. What does the clock say, Alistair, in that one? Arsenal look like they're struggling without a striker. By the way, yeah, Leicester, Arsenal in the Premier League. Is that 0-0 as well? I believe it could be. Okay, there you go. Back on, and Pompey have been all over them. Minute 23. So we are, yeah, way behind. Half a half behind, basically. Yeah, lots of things on the 3 things over. It's a great question. I forget who put that in. Aid. Maybe you can go with that over my 5-minute coffee break. And I've ranted on about distributions in football. Look, my position hasn't changed for years in distributions. That if we have a pyramid of 92 teams, that in some way distributions from TV should in some way reflect the pyramid. Let me start higher and kind of go down like that. Not da-da-da, boom, da-da-da, boom, da-da-da, boom. That's all I'm asking. We can get into the minutiae of Champions League, Premier League, Parachute, Championship, League One, League Two, etc. We can get into the minutiae, but the simplistic thing is, can we make the TV money go down like, I can't do it when I'm looking in the camera. There you go. Can we make it go down like that? And I also believe strongly that the thing that stops it going down like that is the fact that we have different entities, Champions League, Premier League, EFL. In English football, we could stop it in terms of the Premier League and the EFL either being one organisation or actually agreeing in the Premier League, not just going over the head of the EFL and paying tons of money to the teams to get relegated out of their organisation. in terms of the Champions League, I kind of have less of a problem with that because there's almost a bit of a sense if you get to the top of English football, you unlock that cheat code of extra money. You know, maybe there could be a solidarity payment paid in from Champions League to Premier League. I don't know. That might even happen already. It probably doesn't. But yeah, I don't really get how you can argue with that we should have as fair a distribution as we can all the way down. I don't really get how you can argue that it's not very fair at the moment. I know we get lots of fans of teams who either have Champions League money or Premier League money. And what they do is they do this really understandable thing where they try and protect the team they support by saying, oh, but look, if we go down to the next chasm, that's really bad for us. Yeah, of course it is. No SHIT, Sherlock. But, you know, sometimes you have to think in life, here you go, about the people who are worse off than you are. How about that? Alex, the Championship is the best league in the world. Premier League is boring. Well, Alex, you are saying that at a bad time in a 0-0 with two other 0-0 going at the same time, but I take your point. It can be done with the TV revenue, but it won't. So the lower teams and grassroots will always struggle, unfortunately. And that's just the reality of capitalism, isn't it? And look, don't shoot me down and call me some raving conservative. I do believe in the principle of capitalism and, you know, that people deserve to be rewarded for success. But unfortunately, the thing with capitalism is it doesn't reward success in a linear line. It rewards success in an exponential growth line. And I get it. So you can call me a hypocrite by saying I believe in principle in capitalism, but we can ring fence that in something like sport. It's much more difficult to do in business. We can do that in sport. And I get a lot of you will say, yeah, Ben, go figure, sport is business. Maybe that ends the argument, doesn't it? You know, in a way that the NFL do with salary caps. And but then you would say that all the money then just goes into the organization rather than the team. So we can go on over and over again. Liam, thank you for joining us, mate. Jack, part of it is trying to get more money from the lower leagues TV rights. Totally agree. Paramount deal with the US is a good start, but they need to sell the league better. Yeah, I totally agree, Jack. And I do accept the argument that if nobody wants to watch Salford and everybody wants to watch Man United, that the TV money is going to be far greater. But we can do better in solidarity with getting some money down the leagues, can't we? Surely, as I look at the great Luke Chambers on the TV. Right, guys, I am going to take a break at halftime. I will return in 5 minutes' time. We will set the clock. There you go. Someone's showing us a couple of goals. They must be from the lower leagues because we haven't had any in the Championship. I will return ASAP. Go make yourself a coffee. It's 0-0 at halftime in Preston versus Burnley, which I titled the video, Can Burnley's incredible defence be beaten? The answer so far is no. We will be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, in the watch along. It is Preston 0, Burnley 0. We've been putting the world to rights and having a great debate about what's been detrimental to football in the last 30 years and the old lovely subject of TV distributions and their impact on the game. Happy days, hey. Keep it coming, and we will hopefully grab ourselves a goal in our game here. It's Preston 0, Burnley 0. Not without incident. I know a lot of people will just go boring Burnley, which is easy to do if you only know the scoreline of the games and know Burnley don't concede many goals, but it's been pretty decent enough watch. Maybe I'm just being distracted by the excellent chat with you lot down there. So appreciate all of that. Can we do a like spike real quick? If you haven't already, can we hit like if you're watching on Twitter or on YouTube? If someone can give me a running total as well, that would be great. You've got 11 seconds. Let's go. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you supporting the stream as well. Remember, the easiest way to do it is just by interacting, like, comment, subscribe. You can donate, which is a massive help out to the channel and would be a massive help out to me this month because my washing machine needs replacing. I think we are now saying rest in peace to my washing machine, which was making an ungodly noise. I think I've just done the last wash on it and it's going to be gone. So I need a new bloody washing machine, which is annoying. But there you go. We are back out ready for the second half. The camera is on Lyle Foster, who missed that glorious chance at the end of the first half after an excellent bit of play by Hannibal and Fleming to get him set up. I think we use the word blazed, don't we? He blazed that one over the crossbar. Anyway, we are off and running in the second half. It is Preston 0, Burnley 0. Preston have won like 6 in 8 in all competitions. A Burnley win will take them to second position in the Championship on goal difference, albeit temporarily, because Sheffield United can go right back past them in the 3 p.m. Oh, is it going to open up for Preston? No, it doesn't. Couldn't quite sort his feet out there. I think it's Frockier in the box. And now we get a Burnley counter down the left with Foster. Oh, I thought Foster would beat Porteous. Then he got goal side of him then, but Porteous slid in and made the saving tackle. And it's cleared away down the line. Magoma played it back. Magoma, famous last verse here. He looks all right for an 18-year-old, doesn't he? Let's get back into the comments. 1 like equals 1 prayer for the washing machine. Yeah, I think that washing machine is going to. Would it be heaven or hell to go to the tip? I suppose to go to the tip is going to be heaven, isn't it? Join it. Although Toy Story, which is the Toy Story when they end up in the tip. I think it's the last one, isn't it? Yeah, which I found a bit scary actually. I might leave Enid a while before she watches. No, she's definitely seen that one. Maybe she doesn't quite understand the things getting crushed in the tip. Enough said. Snap. Our washer is goosed. Penguin. There is no obligation to donate. Remember, this is always free. Topic. Biggest famous last words in football. Yeah, get them going. Probably something I say every blooming stream. Yeah, to be fair, Frockier would have had to control, turn, and fire that in the corner all in one. But it did open up slightly. Trafford comes out and grabs That through ball slides out well there. Trafford, Humphreys. Here they come down the left. Burnley with Foster. Foster, nice little poke forward. And it's hoofed by Porteous into the... No fear football. I'll give you that one. Don't let this slip. I feel sorry for poor old Kevin Keegan because he always gets mentioned. I think Brian Moore in the penalty shootout in France 98 said about David Batty, Kevin, is he going to score or not? And what else could Keegan say? He said yes, and then Batty missed. Out we go. Clip long into the channel, looking for Anthony, that common ball we see from Burnley. Woodman out right to the edge of his box. Obviously, the Burnley fans behind the goal appeal for handball. But here's my normal rule, guys. Never trust anybody in the vicinity of a football stadium, player or supporter or staff, appealing for a decision. Most of them are lying. Stay humble. Here is Foster. Wants a handball off Porteous. He's got one, actually. I didn't see that one. I got a fixed tip from YouTube for my wages. What's a fixed tip, Phil? I don't know what that means. Paul Warren, gas. Stop it. Yeah, definitely ran out of steam last night, poor old Derby. See what John Eustace can do on the training ground with the Rams this week. Cullen, back to Trafford. Just about 5 played of the second half. Anthony over on the right-hand side. How many likes have we got, guys, on the stream, by the way? Let me know on YouTube. And can we get some more? Laurent makes the third man run. Knocks it back behind Roberts, though. Not great ball. Cullen. They've worked that nicely, actually. Laurent coming in off the right. Laurent switches play to Hannibal. He's got an overlap. He comes inside, takes the shot, deflected over the bar. Corner. Well played. Burnley. Nice bit of football. Nice and patient. 77 likes. Yes. See if we can get to 100. Can imagine Steve Evans might be hot under the collar knowing Warren's available. Well, although maybe you get the impression with Warren that he feels like he's done everything he could with you don't drop down a division to go and manage a different team if you don't feel your race has run where you are. Corner goes short. Anthony crosses left foot, gathered on the near post by Cullen. Cullen puts the cross in, or it breaks in the box, cleared. Oh, we're still going. Foster's got it. Foster makes space. Oh, hits the outside of the post. I think it took a deflection. I thought he was offside. If he wasn't, massively close to opening the score in there. Burnley, what the hell happens? In it goes. Is he offside? I think his foot is just offside. I think in VAR world, he would have been flagged, but he didn't get flagged. And he hits the post. He has had the 2 best chances of this game. The ball through gets a tiny little deflection, but I don't think that would have been the phase of play changing with the opponents, attempting to play the ball or whatever. I still think Foster would have been offside in VAR land, but too difficult for our linesman to spot here. Ouch. Porteous is going to get yellow carded for that. He just clatters Hannibal. Ouch. Just goes right through the back of him. leg on leg rather than boot on leg, which tends to help avoiding injury in those kind of instances, doesn't it? Knocked into Osmaic. He can't hold it up. Well, it's broken for Burnley down the right. Is this going to go early into the box? It does. Oh, last-ditch clearance there. He's falling over, stretching his leg out. Just managed to get it away. Big one down the ground. Excellent from Trafford, who comes out and headers that away. Preston fans appealing for a foul, as anyone does anytime a goalkeeper leaves his penalty box. Just looked like a decent header by Trafford. But as always, I'll reserve judgment until I see the replay. Thank you, Dancing Penguin. Doing my bidding for me. Show your support. See if you can get us to 100 likes. Oh, Trafford's dropped that one, but he has been fouled by Kane, Kessler, Hayden. Do I feel sorry for Burnley fans? They may be keeping all these clean sheets, but only scored 39 goals in the league. Can I reframe that, Graham? Do I feel sorry for fans of a team that is in receipt of parachute payments, in third place in the Championship, has only conceded 9 goals and only lost 2 games, and could well be promoted to the Premier League next season? No. No, I don't. 110. Happy days, McAllister Bishop. What football stadium is that in the background? Or is it an American sports? No, they look like safe standing. No, I don't know where that is. Hughes has been whistled for a foul on Fleming. That should be a yellow as well, shouldn't it? If it's a tug on the shirt. Hannibal's going to stick the free kick in. Do you remember when Hannibal was playing for Burnley? He brilliantly scored a free kick where he caught the keeper out. I'm sure Freddie Woodman has been prepped on that. Who was that against, guys? Can you remember? Hannibal, free kick for Birmingham, where everyone thought he was going to cross it and he whipped it in the corner. Clever goal. He's crossed. He's tried it. He tried the same one. I've done this before, ladies and gentlemen. I know what happens in this division. Dempsey Doe, welcome to you. Wrexham 2-0 up in League One. Trying to keep pace with Wickham and Birmingham. Does feel like Birmingham are kind of nailed on to cruise to that title, doesn't it? And the other two playing off for second place. Hannibal's gone mad now. What's going on here? Trafford and Osmaic are arguing. Scott Parker's trying his best, fair play, to calm down Hannibal. I haven't seen the incident here. Don't know what's going on here. Hannibal's trotted back on. Has he been red carded? If he has, Scott Parker's staying very, very calm. I genuinely apologise, guys. I have no clue what's going on here. Hannibal's chuntering away. I think he's been red carded, hasn't he? He's been pointed out as to say, go and get a shower, mate. I've genuinely got no clue what's going on here. I'm going to put that on the screen, Zoomland. I don't know, Jeff. I've got no clue what's going on here. I haven't seen a red card go up. I haven't seen Sky put red card Hannibal. There's a massive kerfuffle, and the referee seems to have pointed a couple of times as if to say, yeah, you're off, mate. I got no idea what's going on. And we've had no replays. The camera's on Osmajic. No one's been carded, says Dale. The fourth official's got something noted down. Referee Kitchen is trying to sort this out. I don't know what's happened here. Neither does Paul Heckingbottom will know better than me, and he he'll be communicating with the bench right now. I don't want to speculate. Yeah, I'll put that up on the screen. Somebody possibly said something. I'm not going to accuse anybody of anything. I don't know. But possibly, yeah. Somebody could have said something to somebody. Referee is calling the captains over now. Ledson and Cullen. The truth is, when it comes to a potential comment on the pitch, we don't know. And genuinely, unless you hear the comment, how can you send somebody off for a comment that you haven't heard? You can't, can you? So I assume it will be investigated. Please, guys, let's not accuse anybody of anything that we haven't heard ourselves. That's my general rule for these type of things. There you go. If it's on camera, then I'm sure they'll literally have lip readers looking at it, won't they? So I'll say no more. But please, in the comments, guys, if nobody knows what's been said, then you don't have the right to accuse anybody of anything. Only the people who heard it will know, won't they? That'll certainly... That's tremendous, Paul. He called Burnley boring and took offence. There you go. Well played, Paul. There you go. Bit of lightness. Bristol City are leading at Cardiff. If anyone's got a goal scorer for me. Let me know. Bristol City are in the top 6 as things stand. It's Cardiff 0, Bristol City 1. I don't know who the goal scorer is, but as things stand, Bristol City have moved above West Brom and are in 6th place in the table. Jason Knight. Thank you, guys. Putting a fiver on a Hannibal red card, that's not a bad shout at all. You would think Scott Parker will surely be in Hannibal's ears saying, mate, I need you to keep calm or I have to substitute you now, because we know he's got a reputation for being a bit hot-headed. I understand if potentially teams try to wind him up. Again, we don't know what was said. There's obviously a line between trying to get in your opponent's head and saying something that shouldn't be said on a football pitch. And I will reiterate, we don't know what's been said. We think it's Osmajic and Hannibal. We know no more than that. So we cannot speculate on the type of comment that's been said. Yeah. Night with a K. Here come Preston down the left. Nice feed down the line. Oh, it's knocked inside to Potts. Oh, Potts hits it across the box. To be fair, I went, oh, but Trafford didn't really dive, did he? Not a bad strike, was it? I'm going to state the bleeding obvious. If that starts to bend back, you've got trouble, but it stays pretty straight, doesn't it? Might even bend away, actually, slightly. Both players are wind-up merchants. Well, this is true. This is true. Again, I will reiterate, I don't know what was said. And we don't want to get into he said, she said. Foul there. That should have been an advantage there. Anthony quickly replaces the ball, and we go down the right-hand side with Laurent. Who had nil effing nil in the predictions, by the way? Lots of you did, didn't you? That was an interesting noise for all you ARSM, SRSM who like that sort of nonsense. That was me opening some orange juice. Scott Parker looking very calm, which is what you want from your manager. Whilst all that nonsense was going on, whatever was going on. Until we find out more, it's hard to say, really. As things stand, oh, that's a hospital ball there. Cleared away. As things stand, Bristol City going 6th. They're 1-0 up at Cardiff. Burnley will be dropping points here as things stand, which would be good news for Sheffield United because they have a 2-point gap and obviously could turn that into a 5-point gap. Leeds and Sunderland play on Monday night. If you're a Leeds or Sunderland fan, you're hoping both of those sides can drop points. But would you be surprised if Burnley nicked this? No, you wouldn't, would you? I'm sure. Well, I speak for myself. I wouldn't be surprised. Lauren, can't see Cardiff getting back into the game. Can you? Pass. Not watching it, but let us know if you're across that one. Egan Riley, fed into the channel for Lyle Foster, who had that great chance. He was probably an inch offside. Just hit the outside of the post, didn't he? Tried to give the keeper the eyes that way, swing it back into the other corner. Outside of the post. Little dink would have been the shot there, wouldn't it? Cullen. Foster. Oh, nice ball, Foster, is it? Yes, it is. Anthony. Nice idea. Didn't get enough pace on it, though, did he? My bad. Magoma powering down the left. Oh, nice little turn inside by Magoma. He's been excellent. Anyone knows anything about this 18-year-old Magoma for Preston? He looks a player, doesn't he? Always give Preston still building down the left, by the way. It's just turned over and Burnley tried to clear. Always give players a little bit more credit when they're 18 years old. If you see a player playing competently in the Championship and they're 26, you're like, well, okay, he's a competent Championship player. If you see a player playing competently in the Championship and they're 18, you're like, oh, okay, if he improves, he's going to be a real player. Not that a competent Championship player is not a real player, but huge potential there. Biggest 25 minutes of our season, says Anir. Don't hype it up. There'll be some bigger 25 minutes if Bristol City stay in the top 6, won't there? So what happened? No red card. What really happened? What really happened is Hannibal went mad, complained about something, and we don't know quite what it was. Ah, he's on loan, is he? There you go. I didn't realise he was on loan. Yeah. That explains it. He's a Premier League player. $20 to go, just about. But we're going to have probably 6 or 7 stoppage time. I say the same about Sidney Peck. And he's probably not even as good as our blaster who got injured, is he? But yeah, he's excellent Peck, isn't he? What a pass for Brereton Diaz the other night. We all fall down. We're going to get an injury hold. And I think we're going to get a couple of Burnley subs right now. Whoever said in the chat at the start of the game, that Burnley bench is unreal. We're about to see some of it right now. Southampton got him from Spurs in 2022. It's amazing, isn't it? These 18-year-olds have all had about 5 clubs and 10-year careers. Oh, who sings that? And we all fall down like toy soldiers. Who sings that? Is it like Nikita or something like that? Don't get me in to name that tune. Right. Quite sensibly, Scott Parker has subbed Hannibal. I get it. Hannibal looks pretty annoyed. I assume he's just going to go straight down the touchline and chill out. Out comes Lyle Foster, and Sky are doing him dirty here. They're showing the 2 huge chances that Lyle Foster missed. I was close. I said Nikita. It was Marquita. Don't Marquita make like drills and stuff for the trade? And I've done my usual thing here. Double sub. I didn't see who came on. I think Marcus Edwards came in. Who else got subbed on, guys? Someone write it in the comments. I'm useless. I'm sorry. I effed up. My bad. I'm sorry. Potts. Osmajic. Who may have been at the centre of the issue with Hannibal. We don't know. Brownhill. So what was it? Brownhill and Edwards, yeah? So you know the next question I'm going to ask. Who came out? Hannibal and Foster. There is Hannibal with a face like thunder. Again, that may be understandable, but we don't know what's happened, and it's not fair to comment if we don't know. And frankly, we will probably never find out. But here comes Anthony, who's over on the left wing now. Anthony into the box. Anthony! Oh, God, that looked for all the world like it was flying in the top corner. The shot rises and just heads over the bar. I assume he's put Edwards on the right wing, and now Anthony's an inverted winger on the left. How much does that miss by? Oh, this is going to be a great angle from the hard cam. Oh, just over the bar, hits a little lad on the front row there. Great seat for those kids. That's brilliant, isn't it? Those young kids on the front row of the away stand. Or if they get a goal in front of them, they're going to love that. Sam Greenwood comes in for Ryan Ledson. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an attacking substitution, I would say, for Preston. Fair play to Heckingbottom. I know everyone's got this as a nailed on. But maybe that adds a little bit there. Greenwood can, create a goal, create a through ball, score from the edge of the box, all of that stuff. Take a set play. Whereas Ledson's a kind of sitting central midfielder. So I'd assume Tordarson will partner Potts, which is really going to stitch me up because I can't tell the two apart, for Christ's sake. Whereas Brownhill and Edwards are kind of more like for like, aren't they? I mean, you can argue the minutiae of, Brownhill might be a better finisher than Hannibal. Good with a dead ball is Greenwood. Yeah, agreed. Dale. In goes a set play, or Porteous, causing trouble at the back sticks. Corner, isn't it? Off Fleming. Referee Kitchen says otherwise. Let's have a look. He's onside. Come on, Fleming, didn't it? Let's have a look. No, I was wrong. Came off Porteous, off his shoulder. He had his back to us, though, so I couldn't see. Esteve goes short, and then the ball goes into the front man. Edwards up there and Anthony converging from the wings. It's gone loose for Anthony, who looks like he's enjoying playing on the left-hand side. I know he's a right winger. Cullen. Roberts. Edwards. Cleared away as far as Greenwood. Lovely ball into the channel. Here comes Kessler Hayden down the right. Kessler Hayden, a little knock inside to Greenwood. Horrible first touch. But some encouragement there as Greenwood managed to pick his way through that. Crikey. Big tackle there from Tordarson. Oh. I mean, he was lucky he didn't make contact with anyone. He threw himself into that, didn't he? Careful. Let us know, by the way, your lineups. There's one from Lee there for Coventry, who are finally away from home. Seem to play 8 home games recently, haven't they? At Sheffield Wednesday. Get your lineups in if you can in the comments. Still only 1 goal in the 3 Championship earlies. And that is down at Cardiff, where Bristol City lead through Jason Knight. A goal that will take Bristol City into the top 6. Right, out comes Osmajic. In comes Emil Rees. Sky are being very... I mean, they can cover this how they like, but they put the camera on Hannibal as Osmajic is coming off. So the elephant in the room here is there's an issue between Osmajic and Hannibal. We don't know what that is. I'm sure more will come out. I'm sure the PR departments of both clubs will be on it. Whatever's happened, Hannibal's absolutely fuming. Yellow card has just come out there for, I think it's for a high foot from Fleming. So we did have a conversation when it was happening that, oh, Hannibal's a hothead. He's got a temper. He's a wind-up merchant. It's now gone past that because it happened 20 minutes ago and he sat on the bench on his own. So he's either really committing to the bit if he is on the wind-up, or he's genuinely upset. He looks genuinely upset, I have to say. That's my, again, I don't know. That's my take from watching some images of a human being who looks pissed off. Free kick, Preston, lobbed into the back stick. Porteous wins the header. Oh, it's recycled. Crikey, that was a chance to get it across the box. They appealed for handball. I think against Fleming, it was point blank range. So I don't think even if his arm was in an unnatural position, it would have been given. But again, we'll look at the replay. It's gone loose for Kessler Hayden. Oh, it's a dreadful cross from the left-hand side. I think it was Emil Rees. Porteous is still chuntering at the ref. Nah, it's not handball, is it? Hits the back of Fleming, who has his back turned as well and doesn't have his arm. Triple whammy. Back turned, not actually hit his arm, hit his back. Probably wasn't too close, to be fair. Will Burnley break the record for fewest goals? Surely they will. By a mile, by the look of it, as well. Going to get another yellow card here. All the players and the referee kind of kept their powder dry for the majority of this game, but it's getting a bit more fierce and the yellow card's out now. To be fair, I think the ref's been pretty decent, hasn't he? Cullen just gets smashed there by Andrew Hughes. There you go. My prediction was 0-1. Sam's was 0-0. Sam could be on for a three-pointer to start this, couldn't he? Free kick, Burnley. In it comes. Oh, what the hell happened there? Fleming was right in the middle of the goal. And he was onside and someone just jumps in front of him. Is he on? I mean, he's offside, so maybe some justice would have been done. No flag. You actually see Fleming give the shout to Bashir Humphreys, who then ducks under it and doesn't head it. And then it bounces off him. Now, I don't know whether I wasn't looking at Humphreys. Fleming, I thought, was offside. Humphreys might not have been offside. So you could there just have had an offside player shouting to an onside player, leave it, and then the ball hits the offside player and bounces away, when the onside player could potentially have headed it in the goal. Another reason why Burnley fans are going to think they should have won this game. Kessler Hayden down the right. Kessler Hayden crosses, back stick, headed across the goal. Great clearance again by CJ Egan-Riley. He made a brilliant tackle on Osmajic, and he's just falling into his goal there on the volley, clears that away. He is a brilliant defender, isn't he? Tordarson. Oh, they've been robbed there. I think he was expecting a foul. That's a foul. I think Frockier. Anthony's a bit annoyed with Frockier about the nature of that tackle. Frockier shoving Brownhill. I saw Frockier have a right paddy at Portman Road last season. So he's got a temper. It's all getting very, very narky now. Has Frockier been penalised again? He's going to get booked in a second, isn't he? Oh, that could be a big goal, Michael. What time are we on in that game? 0-1 Pompey. Be a huge, huge away win that for Pompey, who have been better at home than away. Someone has just been carded there. Is that one of the Burnley staff been carded? Elliot Tybebo? Forgive me. I don't know who that is. If anyone knows what he does for Burnley, stick it in the comments. Andre Dazelle? You can still find him. Free kick comes in. Fleming heads up and over the bar. That's got to be comment of the day from Robert, who has got a reduced whole cooked chicken. Don't eat it all at once, Robert. That's tremendous. It's made me hungry even reading about a whole cooked chicken. Lots of nail biting going on in the Burnley end. Is that due to the tension or the boredom? Big boot forward, looking for Reese. Headed away. We never got all of the... we got a replay of Egan Riley's clearance there. I thought it was superb. Bit of space for Cullen in the centre circle. Cullen tries to swing it out to Anthony. Well played, Kessler Hayden. Anthony just catches him. Don't think there was any malicious intent there. It was just too good for him. I think all promoted teams from League One will stay up this season. Derby in the bottom three at the moment. Oxford had a golden run. And Pompey have actually, since about the first 10 or 12 games of the season, look at Pompey's points per game. It's pretty good. Pretty good. 1-0 to the Arsenal. God, that's got to be late, Alistair, isn't it? They took their sweet time doing that. Yeah, 81 minutes. Marino. Cullen tries to clear it. Hits Edwards. Breaks for Brownhill. He tries to dink it forward. Frockyer, who's cruising for a yellow card. Here it comes. Yeah, there it is. I'm telling you, before it happens, he has to be booked now. He's had 3 fouls in the last 3 minutes. He either needs to be booked or subbed. He hasn't been booked. That's incredibly patient refereeing. And I would say incorrect refereeing by Mr. Kitchen, who has been very good today, I have to say. But on the basis of the last 5 minutes, I cannot believe Frockyer has not managed to pick up a yellow card. Here comes Anthony with the steal there on Greenwood and then runs it out of play. In the Championship, in the earlies, Cardiff 0, Bristol City 1. A goal that will take Bristol City into the top 6. Oxford 0, Pompey 1. That would take Pompey up to 36 points at 33 games. Significantly over the 1 point per game kind of survival marker. You always want to be above that. Leicester 0, Arsenal 1 in the Premier League. Cambridge 0, Exeter 1. Northampton 0, Wrexham 2. Wimbledon 1, Salford 0. Doncaster 0. Grimsby 2 in all of your early kick-offs today. Egan Riley, who must be in with a shout of man of the match for the tackle on Osmajic and the clearance off his line and the fact that Burnley are incredible defensively. Thought Kessler Hayden, the right back, although he did miss that chance, didn't he? Might have been on for man of the match. You never know. Someone might score a winner. Imagine that, a goal in a football match, hey? 87 minutes. It is 0-0. Lots of people called it. Am I surprised? You know the answer to that. Potts, Torderson. Reese chasing into the channel against the excellent Egan Riley. He's played him, though. and it's out for a Burnley Preston throw-in. Magoma. Potts. Little one down the line. Magoma now. He crosses left foot. It's a good ball. And on the back stick, Kessler Hayden arriving. Everyone's kind of stopped like there's an offside flag before then. Is that right? Or is it just the goal kick? I don't think that's fair, Stephen. Scott Parker cannot get the best out of his attackers again. I think Foster had two very good chances to score in this one. Anthony in the first half as well. I think there's a point where it's very easy to blame managers, but they've done it. They've made enough chances to win the game. They haven't taken them. Is that the manager's fault? I don't know. Here comes Edwards. Edwards into the box. Nice dribble. Oh, Christ. How was that not an own goal? Porteous on the near post. He's facing completely the wrong way. I think it hits his knee. Very good from Edwards. Look at this dribble. Whoops. See you later. Oh, Christ. Hits his right knee and goes completely the other direction. Corner's taken quickly. Oh, nicely worked. Edwards. Edwards, brilliant. That's a nailed-on penalty. It's got... What? Oh, my goodness me. How is that not a penalty? I do not believe that. Referee Kitchen had a good view. Let's have a look. Oh, no. Oh, no. Now all we're going to talk about is refereeing. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. It's a nailed-on penalty, isn't it? He slides in. It kind of gets him with both legs as well. Oh, dear. All we're going to talk about is refereeing now, isn't it? Oh. Edwards goes down a bit theatrically, but slides in, beats him, contact, penalty. Yellow card's coming out for someone on the bench. To be fair, if the Burnley bench are annoyed by that, I'm not surprised. That's a penalty, isn't it? Oh, dear. And Scott Parker has been yellow carded and will serve a touchline ban. I can understand Scott Parker being annoyed by that. Just about the most nailed-on penalty you'll see. In comes, oh, dearie me. In comes the corner, headed out. We're going to get a Preston counter-attack. Controversial game, this one. I know it's 0-0, but we had the big Hannibal incident. That penalty shout's going to be replayed over and again, isn't it? And here's a feed through to Reese, who is offside, I think. He's booted it into the stand. 2-0 Gunners. Marino has got both, has he? And we have a Cardiff equaliser, which means Bristol City will not be going into the top six right now. Who scored for Cardiff, guys? Anybody? First person to tell me in the comments wins a prize. I don't know who scored for Cardiff. I don't know what the prize is either. Thank you, Brendan. Don't ask me what your prize is. Salek. Thank you, Lee. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Thank you, Michael. Brady and Keenan. I guess Heckingbottom's just putting experience in now, isn't he? Like-for-like swaps. And Frokier was a yellow card, stroke red card risk. Still going back and forth with the away end there, Frokier. Well, Burnley are going to come away from this thinking they definitely should have won. Lyle Foster's missed a couple of big chances. Really, they should have had a penalty, shouldn't they? Just a minute or two ago when Edwards went down. It was Hughes who slid in on him. Cross comes in from Humphreys, headed up in the air and away by Keane. Here comes Reese. Down the left-hand side, Reese pops the cross in and Brownhill hoofs it away. It's going to be a restart for Burnley. Offside flag is up. Here is Estev. Humphreys. Anthony trying to turn Kessler-Hayden. Both the Preston wing-backs have been good, haven't they? Magoma and Kessler-Hayden. I know Magoma's not finishing the game. Let me know your man of the match. Maybe Egan Riley for those two excellent defensive contributions. Like I say, the two Preston fullbacks have been pretty decent. We have 90 seconds of the 6 minutes of stoppage time to go. Preston look pretty happy with the 0-0 draw. It's knocked into the channel. And this is going to be the last phase of play of this game. Now it's back with James Trafford. Whichever way, it looks like it's going to be an 11th clean sheet in consecutive EFL games for Burnley. They're going to think they should have won. We're going to be mired in controversy with whatever happened with Hannibal and possibly Osmajic. And that penalty call at the end. But we're still going. Can Burnley force a corner down there? Laurent keeps the ball alive. And now we've stopped. Scott Parker's not enjoyed referee kitchen for the last 5 minutes, let's just say. I must confess, I think he had a legitimate complaint about the penalty, or lack of, on Edwards from Hughes. But it does look like Burnley are going to be dropping points now. We're over the 6 minutes minimum stoppage time. And everyone just needs to keep a lid on this after full time. You can see it getting a little bit fractious if people aren't in control of their emotions. Jaden Anthony has now been booked as well. Throw in to Burnley in the right back area. Surely we're done now. 96:30, 6 minutes minimum stoppage time. Hooked away. We're still going. Burnley have the ball. Laurent has fouled his man. And right, I said last phase of play about a minute ago, didn't I? This is definitely the last phase of play. It's hoofed forward for Kessler-Hayden, who's chested it down. He's actually in the box. Kessler-Hayden knocks it across the box. Imagine he just got a right foot shot off there. You could have got the most dramatic late winner. It is full time. Everyone's just got to keep their heads at the end of this, because I'm sure there's a few people with a bit of a axe to grind here that need to just get off the pitch, get into the shower. The Burnley players are pretty annoyed about that penalty call late in the game. Hughes on Marcus Edwards. Joe Worrell is chaperoning Hannibal, who is absolutely furious. One of the Preston staff is chaperoning Osmajic. Scott Parker is saying something to referee Kitchen. I don't know if he's trying to keep calm. He's been booked. He probably needs to say no more. He's got a touchline ban against Pompey, the Burnley manager. Let's be fair. My first call on Hughes on Edwards was an absolute nailed-on penalty, and the replay didn't change my mind. It's one of those where the player kind of leaves his leg there and then makes sure he's going to go down, but you know, man skins other man, slides in, penalty, right? Osmajic is still on the pitch. As I say, they really need to just get everybody in the shower now. Move on. It's 0-0. As Kilgallen says, good result for Leeds. And as John says, good result for Blades. Burnley have dropped points in the promotion race. So potentially, if Leeds were to win, they would go 7 clear of Burnley. If Sheffield United were to win, they would go 5 clear. If Sunderland were to win, they would go level on points with Burnley. So that leaves it all kind of open in that particular manner. There we go. 0-0. It's a game really that Burnley should have won, probably. Lyle Foster had 2 really, really big chances, and I think Burnley should have had a penalty at the end of the game, shouldn't they? So with that being said, I will leave you all to the rest of your Saturday. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Those of you who say thank you for the stream, I'll click them all up in the outro music as we go. I will see you tomorrow. We'll do hot takes in the morning, and then White Lotus season 3. I love that. I watched that on Sky. That looks good. Looking forward to that now. Blue Monday tomorrow night, and we will of course be watching along with Leeds and Sunderland on Monday night as well. Thank you everybody for watching. Controversy in the end. Preston 0, Burnley 0, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Over and out from me.